The next set of questions is all about living in Hawaii, because I get a lot of questions about this sort of section, this sort of genre. So where do you live? I live in Hawaii. I live on Maui, to be specific. What made you decide to move to Hawaii? As I mentioned previously, I am from Oregon originally, on the coast. It's very gray, it's very rainy. A lot of people say that the town that I'm from was really beautiful, but I was there for 19 years, and let me tell you, it rained a lot, and it was really gray, and it was really depressing a lot of the time. So that kind of weather is not for me, so that is like the main thing that kind of pushed me out of that town, was just like not being able to handle that weather anymore. I just couldn't do it. I need the sunshine, I need the warmth, and that's why I'm here. How long have you lived there, or here? I moved here in 2000. So yeah, I've been here 12 years. Crazy. When you first got to Hawaii, what did you do, where did you go, and how did you make it? Okay, let's see here. So when I first got here, well, the plane lands, and so, okay, let's back up here. So I'm planning the trip, right? And I thought that I was going on like a vacation. I thought I was gonna just sort of, you know, take a break from my hometown. I had the opportunity to save up a little money. I was working at a horrible job that I hated at a restaurant, because I hate restaurant work. It's really hard, and for anyone who does restaurant work, you are amazing, because that's hard work. So anyways, I saved up some money from that. I felt like I needed to kind of just get away from that gray weather for a while and just go see what else was out in the world. So I thought, okay, well, I'll go ahead and go to Hawaii. So I bought a ticket. I bought a round-trip ticket, and like a couple weeks before I was going to come here, I just thought, you know, why would I come back? Why would I consider taking the round-trip ticket, you know, the ticket back? Why don't I just stay there? Why don't I just make this a move, right? So that's what I did, and I just never took that round-trip ticket back. So what happened was, so the plane lands, you hit the ground running. So since I already knew that I wasn't on vacation, I wasn't just going to get to enjoy myself like how, say, a tourist would, where they're just like, you know, laying out on the beach and whatever. No, this was like, okay, hit the ground running and make it happen as fast as possible. Like, I have mere days to make this happen, because I only had 300 bucks. I had a little backpack that I moved with a few pieces of clothing, and that's like all that I had. So it was like, you make it happen, or you're gonna have to take that return flight home, and you don't want to do that. I had a hotel for 3 days, a cheap hotel over in Lahaina, so I went over there, got settled in my hotel, and I wasn't even at the hotel. I had my backpack there, and I took off. The plan was to camp. So I had a few days to get settled in the hotel, kind of like, you know, get a feel for the island, and I was gonna make my way over to where the campsite was, which was only gonna be $5 a night. You know, they had bathrooms, showers, you know, laundry and all that kind of stuff there. So that's what I was gonna do. That's how I was gonna make it for, and I had enough money to be able to last a month there camping before, well, hopefully during that time I was hoping I was gonna be able to get a job. So that was the plan. There was no future, it was just, go find work as fast as possible. So at the hotel, I was on my 3rd night there, which was going to be the last night before I was going to go camping. I actually met some friends, and they had a room for rent, and they were like, well, hey, why don't you just come over with us? We got a room to rent, we're looking for someone. And so I kind of hung out with them for a couple of days, and then I was like, okay, this is gonna work. So they let me crash there at their house, at their, you know, their pad, until I got work. I hooked up with work the next week, and that was that. That was how I made it here. And so I went from, you know, being completely broke, basically. I mean, $300 is nothing when you move on that, and you have nothing to your name besides a backpack. And so I was, you know, at their house. I found my work. I got a job at a surf shop, and then from there, that wasn't going to be a lot of money. You know, it was a part-time job, and so I had to find more work. So I was actually working 3 jobs at once, and I did that for about a year, working 3 jobs. So that was a little bit of juggling, but what are you going to do? I mean, if you got to make it happen, you have no one to help you. My family didn't have money to send me to help, and so it was just, you know, just like, go. Just go, make it happen, or don't make it happen. You gotta go home with your tail between your legs, and I was so not gonna do that. So there's my story. There's my story of how I made it here. And so yeah, I lived out in Haiku, which is on the North Shore of Maui, at their house for years. I lived there for like 3 or 4 years. The first place, you know, I've hooked up with the friends, and there you have it. So that's my main thing. Like, if someone wants to move, then you gotta network. You can't like be in your own little shell. And even though I'm like really quiet naturally, you have to open yourself up. You have to, because you're not gonna survive on your own. You have to go make friends. You have to go talk to people and network to kind of expand your horizons, and the right people will come into your path. So, okay, next question was, is it expensive? Yes, it's expensive. I'm not gonna lie, it is definitely expensive. Rent's expensive. To purchase a home is expensive. We are currently renting, and I'm fine with that right now because I don't feel like dropping 500 grand on a house right now, quite yet. And plus, what you get for your money is very little. So it's kind of like you get like a piece of property, or maybe like a broken down barn or something. It's like, you know, it's really tricky with the housing market out here. So I do get questions about like if someone wants to come out here, what do they do? Well, you basically have to find a room to rent. And people typically don't want to rent to you from a distance. They want you on the island, they want to meet you, and then you're able to see if you can get the room, you know, or rent the place. So it's kind of tricky how it has to work. That's sort of why I ended up just like throwing myself into the fire, you know? So yeah, it's expensive. So we talked about housing. Food is expensive. So we shop at Costco, and I mean, we shop at Whole Foods a little bit too, just for some odds and ends sort of items. But really, Costco really saves you a lot of money, and also you can buy fuel there because they put in a gas station. So that's the cheapest place on the island to get your gasoline. Yeah, otherwise it's really all about where you shop. So you don't have to shop at Safeway, or, you know, Safeway's Foodland, and some of those stores are more expensive. So if you just do most of your grocery shopping smart, then you save a lot of money. How does it feel living there compared to when you lived on the mainland? Okay, I think I probably already answered that too in the other questions, which was, well, it feels really darn good because I'm warm all the time, and it's nice weather. I get to see the blue sky and palm trees all the time, rather than like gray fog and rain and clouds. That's like, so depressing to me. So that's the main difference for me. Would you ever move to another Hawaiian island? We've considered moving to Oahu just for the sake of like business-wise, because there's a lot more business that goes on over there than here on Maui. It's pretty quiet here, but not as quiet as, say, Kauai or the Big Island. Those are really quiet. And I've been to all of the islands. I mean, you know, Big Island, Maui, Oahu, Kauai, Molokai, and around Lanai. I know there's Niihau, but you don't go to Niihau out here. I mean, unless you want to pay like $300 for like a half-day supervised trip or something, and who wants to do that? The next set of questions is all about work and business. I do get a lot of questions about work, so let me see here. We've got, what do you do for a living? That's a popular question that I get a lot. I design jewelry for a living, and yes, that is my full-time job. That is both what Michael and I do. That's both our full-time job. We don't do anything else. Let's see. Oh, and I guess, what do you do exactly? So we design our jewelry out of our house, so it's only us. And we've been the same throughout our entire business. We don't have any employees. We've never worked with anyone else. It's just Michael and I, because there's just no need for employees. We have a very small business. So we just work out of our house, make our jewelry, and on the weekends we have events that we sell at. So you may have seen some of my previous videos where I show you at the, you know, the swap meet. We have a regular space there that we get and we sell every week. So we've had customers for years that continue to come back every year to our booth and purchase our, you know, new designs every year. So we've got a lot of return customers and have had them for years. So that's the first thing you want to do in business, is build a good customer base. And when you have good customer service and you've got a good product, then your customers will come and find you and they'll want to buy from you every single year. For other things that we do within the business is you can wholesale to stores. We have a few stores that carry our jewelry line, And let's see, we do custom work. So sometimes I have people contact me that want to do certain pieces for weddings. So I'll do wedding sets out of the Swarovski crystal. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, we wholesale to stores. We sell at the swap meet. So it's not only the swap meet, we have like other shows that we do on the weekend. So there's like another one that goes on in Lahaina. That's a really good big craft and gift fair that goes on most Sundays. So we sell over there too. Have for years. And then there's other big annual events. So there's like upcountry, there's festivals, there's fairs. So there's all kinds of things going on really all the time. So we keep really, really busy. How did you start your business? Well, let's see. When I first started, or I should say before I started, because I do get questions about what was my previous job, and I worked retail, so I worked at surf shops out here, and then we did go to the mainland for a little while, and so I worked at REI, which is a big chain store, like a sports shop over there on the mainland, and it was actually there that I kind of got my start in getting pushed into my own business, and that was just because it was out of passion, like a passionate hate for what I was doing, and that was just like pure boredom. I was so bored working at REI, and I had made really good friends there, you know, after working there for a year, and but it was enough. I couldn't handle any more of the corporate retail world. It was just like it was so like humdrum. So I was just over it, and I needed to do something different, and I knew I wanted to do something on my own because I really don't like having bosses over me. I like to be on my own. I like to do my own thing. I don't like having someone telling me what to do, I guess. So working at REI, you know, I was on the retail floor, and so I was supposed to be, you know, straightening things and whatever, you know. So I would have, instead, I would have like pads of paper, and I was constantly like jotting down ideas of businesses, you know, business ideas of something that I could do, and yeah, that's how I actually started getting into business, I guess, was just by a list of ideas and thinking, okay, well, what do I know how to do? I'm kind of good at crafts, so maybe I could make something, and that's how I started. And my mother-in-law had actually purchased a book on hemp making, like how to make hemp jewelry, and so I thought, oh, well, that's pretty easy to start with. So I went and got a roll for $5 of hemp, and all you got to do is learn how to braid it. And so I'm pretty fast at learning how to do things with my hands, so I just learned how to make hemp jewelry just pretty quick and easy, and people really liked it. And so I liked stones and things like that because I'm a rock hound. Both Michael and I are really into stones and stuff, so I would find really cool stones and things to kind of weave into the hemp, and people loved it. So that's really how I got my start, and I started by going to small local farmers markets that were just in our little town, our little area, and then we kind of like expanded from there. We started doing bigger and bigger shows, and people kept liking our stuff, so we just kind of kept expanding the line and kind of experimenting with different types of jewelry, and that's how we got into jewelry, really. But we did take kind of a break. We turned into, you know, we got some different ideas. Like I wanted to learn how to make candles, so we made these really cool, really cool gallery type candles, like with, you know, all these curling things coming down, and I love the art of it. I love making stuff in general, no matter what it is. So we were doing candles and all these like really delicious scents, and people were loving those. I started making soap. The soap, I kind of like, oh, that was a lot of work. That was intense work. So I kind of like stuck with the candles, and then kind of ended up going back into the jewelry. At some time along there, I came up with Pink Xoxo. I wanted to have a store online, and so I did that for a couple of years, and I made some money at that. And then so it was just like little steps, just like little, like you're like a little frog jumping across a little pond on a bunch of little lily pads, you know, and you just kind of like build your business from really small. So I basically built my business now from, you know, like a ball of hemp. Did I take any jewelry class, jewelry making classes? No. Nope. I learned from self-taught, basically. You know, aside from the very first little hemp book that I had, it's all been self-taught. Any tips for starting a business? My tips would be, there's lots of ways to make money. Find something that you like and something that you're good at. That's basically it. That's the best tip I can give you, because it's really kind of different for everyone. You know, it depends on your location, depends on what kind of customer base you're after. and just what you like to do, because there's all kinds of ways to make money. So just make sure that it's something that you enjoy, because you're going to be married to it. And it's like you don't want to put all your energy into some business direction that you think that you want to go, and then you find out you don't like it. So test the waters first before jumping in. Next question. I have an Etsy store also. Do you have any recommendations on how to get the word out about your store without people thinking you're obnoxious? No. In fact, that's another question. Someone asked me, well, why wouldn't you want to show your jewelry on YouTube? And well, that's it. Because anytime that that someone or me, or anytime someone mentions something where they might profit a little bit, or if they're selling something and you mention it on like your YouTube channel, people don't like that. There's a lot of people that don't mind, and there's some people like myself personally, I love to see, like, if you have some kind of craft or some kind of art, you're an artist of some kind, I'm excited to like see what you're doing, because I'm an artist too, and I like that. I like handmade stuff, I like handcrafted stuff, I like to see other people using their skills so craftfully, and I think that's great. But other people sometimes don't like that, and they do find it obnoxious. And if you have a YouTube channel and you talk about it on there, you might get people that just they'll just kind of like say, oh, you're just trying to like use your subscribers, or you're just trying to use your YouTube channel to sell stuff. And it's like, that's not how it is. But they don't know that, they feel like you're just trying to profit from them, and people don't like that. So that is the main reason why I don't like to really talk about my jewelry very much, because I'm not here to sell jewelry. I'm here to have fun, and I'm here for exactly what I started my channel for, which is like beauty and vlogging and just having fun with friends from all over the world. So that's one thing. So that's if you have a YouTube channel. If you're just trying to get people, like say locally, to go check out your Etsy store, maybe try putting the word out, do some craft fairs, do some local farmers markets, like I did, and then hand out business cards to those people that come and check out your stuff, and be like, hey, I'm online too, I have an online store, maybe you want to check it out, and I've got more designs on there or something, whatever it is. So there's different ways to put the word out, but yeah, so there's a couple different factors to look at. There's the local factor, where you can get business from local people in your area, and then you have the online factor, which personally I have never, like, even when I had my online store, Pink So Foxy, I never paid for advertising. If you want to use your keywords, that's what you want to do. So people that are searching and they're using specific keywords, they're going to find you. So I was always at the top of every search for any of my keywords, and I made sure of that. So people were always finding me that way. So if you have a store like that, a sort of website like that, that's another way, is to word things right, word things in the way that it's what people are searching for. Same goes for your YouTube channel too. If you're trying to be found on YouTube, make sure that you're utilizing your keywords, and you're putting things in there that people are searching for under each video, so that's how people are going to find you. So just think like when you're typing something into YouTube or the internet, Google, and you're looking for something, just think how they would think, someone who's searching for your goods or whatever, and use those kind of keywords. Do you make good money on YouTube? And I have to speak from my own personal experience, because I can't speak for what other people do on YouTube or what they make on YouTube. I have no idea what other people make, but I can tell you right now that I joke around a lot when it comes to me and my channel, because I call it slave labor, because you put so many hundreds and hundreds of hours in, and you get very little for it. Talking money-wise is what I'm talking about. So you're rich in different ways. I've talked about that before too. You might not be rich in money, but you're rich in all the people that you meet from all over the world, and it's like, that's like freaking amazing in itself, right? So you can put hundreds and hundreds of hours in, even thousands of hours in, like I have 250 videos, so say that took me 2,000 hours of editing and putting work into it, because sometimes, if I have a long video that I'm doing and you back it up with all the research, the days that I spent on researching for that video, and then finally, shooting it and then editing for days later and then getting it up, That's a lot of work for, you know, you don't get paid for that kind of work. Honestly, I can make way more money if I took that amount of time and put it into my business. But this is a hobby that I enjoy, and so, you know, it's nice to get a tiny bit of money back for all the work that you put into it, but I can make more if I went and got a part-time job at a surf shop, for goodness sakes. I mean, that's really how it is. So people it's a popular assumption that people want to kind of believe that, oh, all these YouTube gurus, and no, I'm not calling myself a guru, I'm just a YouTuber, but all these YouTubers or gurus or whatever are, you know, making it big on YouTube and making a bunch of money from their videos. That's not really how it is, let me tell you. At least in my case, and I'm not considered a big person on here. I'm just like a little YouTuber over here, right? But there's big people on here that I'm sure do make money, you know. But yeah, for the rest of us, we're just like small potatoes, really. Yeah, so do you make good money on YouTube? No, I don't make good money on YouTube. I think that is probably why a lot of YouTubers do My Likes. So if you've heard of My Likes at all, they're like, as far as I understand, they're a website that has, you know, different advertisers, I guess, or different companies will advertise on there, and you can do a video about their product or something. If you already like it, then great, and then you can like just talk about it on your channel, and then you get money from that. So for like every 1,000 views. I don't know how it works exactly. I've never done it myself, but I know that a lot of people do that, and that's how they make more money. So I've just never personally felt that it was like, I don't know, my thing. I just didn't want to deal with that. And also there's like Style Haul. I know that they contacted me a lot, and I just sort of, I never really had time to like, you know, get into it. I don't like getting tied up with other things, you know. I kind of just like focusing on myself, my own videos, my own style. And but anyway, Style Haul is like a collaboration sort channel, and they've got a lot of gurus or like, you know, part of them, and so they like get more views basically. So I guess maybe they like show one of your videos on their channel and then you get more subscribers or more views or something. I don't know how it works exactly, but yeah, I'm just like, I like doing my own thing. I'm very independent, and I don't like to get mixed up in other stuff.